Okay. Again, my name is Mary Duffy. I'm the executive director of the Danny Did Foundation. And to overview my presentation for this evening, I'm going to talk about Danny Stanton. And Danny's discussion includes the cause of his death, which is called sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. And we'll also touch on technology in the epilepsy space and its utilities for patients and caregivers. So the Danny Did Foundation was founded in Chicago by my dear friends Mike and Mary Ann Stanton after they lost their 4-year-old son, Danny, to SUDEP. Let me start first by sharing Danny's story. Danny was an athletic, affectionate, smart kid who enjoyed doing everything with his 3 siblings. And he was also an amazing buddy to my son, Charlie. And he taught us how wonderful a friendship can be. Danny had his first seizure at the age of 2, and his parents witnessed just 4 more of those over the next 2 years, but often wondered how many they had missed while he was up. He had no other medical complications. Just a few months before his 5th birthday, Danny visited his neurologist on a Tuesday, where he received a slight modification to his medication because of the weight gain. He was told that they were on a good path. 4 days later, on a Saturday morning, Danny passed away while sleeping. Even though he was under his doctor's care, the first time the parents heard of the word SUDEP was on his death certificate. Danny's parents started the Danny Did Foundation to fill gaps in education and communication they had experienced during their treatment with Danny. The name of our organization comes from the last line of Danny's obituary, which was written by his father and stated, "Please go and enjoy your life. Danny did." So that's the goal of our foundation, to do all we can to support families facing epilepsy and seizures so that they can live their life to the fullest. We engage with neurologists, other healthcare providers, families, advocates, and the general public, all to join us in our goal to protect people of all ages with epilepsy. Despite our tragic origins, it's the spirit and joy of Danny's life that motivates us to help other families. And the next slide, I'd like to share a video that offers a nice summary of our mission and our programs. It's a little older, but it's one of my favorites. And so I wanted to share that with you so you can see the core of our mission that really shines through.
My name is Tommy, and I have a story to share. It is a story of one family's journey. It is a story of love, of hope, and of resilience. A story of how one life moves so many other lives. This is the story of what Danny did. It was 11 years ago. Danny Stanton was 4 years old when he died after having a seizure while he was sleeping. His death was caused by sudden, unexpected death in epilepsy. The Danny Did Foundation began as a promise to Danny to protect those suffering from seizures. Today, its impact is felt around the world. The foundation has provided thousands of grants to families in all 50 states and across 13 countries. Its programs are designed to make a direct impact through access to life-changing seizure alerting devices, access to educational resources for caregivers, and by advancing public awareness through every medium: billboards, social media, radio, and just this year, our first TV campaign.
Connect with us at dannydid.org to learn more and to donate.
If people don't understand what epilepsy is, how can they care enough to join the fight? This is the face of epilepsy. and this face, and this face. Since its inception, family has been at the core of the Danny Did Foundation because epilepsy affects the entire family. A new chapter of hope is written every day. I know this story well because Danny is my brother. Although we miss Danny every day, we carry on. With his twinkle in our eyes, his presence in our hearts, and his spirit at our side. Never forget to enjoy your life, just like Danny did.
Looking for the slide that says, what is up? What is SUDEP? I'll go ahead and just continue. Can you hear me? Okay. So a death is referred to as a SUDEP when seemingly healthy person with epilepsy dies unexpectedly with no clear reason for death that can be determined. In most cases, an autopsy is required to rule out other causes of death. The most common criteria used to determine whether death is due to SUDEP are: the person has epilepsy, which is defined as a recurrent or unprovoked seizures. The person died unexpectedly while in a reasonable state of health. The death occurred suddenly and during normal activities, usually sleep. And by obvious medical cause of death could not be determined at autopsy. And the death was not a cause or result of status epilepticus or prolonged seizure clusters. So what causes SUDEP? So just one more. What causes SUDEP? In most cases of SUDEP, the incident is not witnessed and the patient is found dead in the morning by their family, which was the case with Danny. The precise reasons regarding the causes of a case of a SUDEP are still being researched. That's one thing that's most frustrating about SUDEP is we do not know exactly why it happens. But there are a few main theories. Cerebral shutdown. When the brain is shut off after a seizure, breathing may be suppressed, or lack of respiration might be the primary cause. There's a new published paper in the Journal of Clinical Investigation from the University of Iowa lab that explores this. Another idea is cardiac abnormalities. A seizure may cause a dangerous heart rhythm or even heart failure. It's also possible that SUDEP may be the result from one or more of these causes, or that the causes might be different in each case. And how often does it happen? The most recent research suggests that SUDEP occurs for 1 in 1,000 people with epilepsy. That applies to both children and adults. For people with seizures that are uncontrolled, however, the rate does increase to 1 in 150. So seizure control is critical. And then on the next slide, let me talk a little bit more about our SUDEP awareness programs. As you know, before Danny's parents, before Danny died, Danny's parents had never heard the term SUDEP. It was never a risk that was raised with them by his neurologist. This lack of disclosure, unfortunately, is not common. Let me say that again. This lack of disclosure, unfortunately, is not uncommon, but it is something we're trying to change. In surveys of patients and caregivers conducted by Duke University in 2023, about 95% said that they wanted to be informed and educated about SUDEP. However, in the surveys of providers, it was found that only about 30% of neurologists actually counsel their patients about the risk of SUDEP. So there's a big disconnect. And without learning about SUDEP, Danny's parents were not given the chance to try to protect him. We don't know what the outcome would have been. they did deserve that chance. And we believe that other parents deserve that chance too. I have a great privilege of speaking with families every day, and the vast majority learned about SUDEP from their own research. I hear repeatedly that why aren't they talking about this? We understand and appreciate this is a hard conversation, but we feel that knowledge is power, and once you have all the information, you can use that to try to keep your loved ones safer. And the next slide. And Danny wants to empower you to approach this important conversation with your healthcare team. We advocate for honest and open dialogue between doctors and parents that include the discussion of risks associated with epilepsy, including mortality, which should then lead to a discussion on prevention strategies. At this time, there's no conclusive cause for SUDEP. Therefore, the best strategy is to do all you can to reduce your seizures. A discussion about SUDEP is an opportunity to discuss all treatment options with your provider. And here's a short list of possible discussion topics. You can discuss if medication is being taken as prescribed. And if not, have a discussion on removing any barriers that might be preventing adherence. Is it time to see a specialist, a dietitian, keto specialist, maybe a surgeon or a neurostimulation specialist, or perhaps a referral for mental health concerns? Do you have a seizure response plan? Is there a copy of that with teachers, therapists, and babysitters? Perhaps a discussion if the patient has adequate supervision. Can you determine a caregiver that can intervene during seizure? And should you be using a seizure detection device? You can determine if there's coordination of care. Is your patient seeing other doctors for other conditions? And should they be aware and even collaborating? You can discuss how can we minimize risks for accidents, falling, bike rides, swimming, and other possible injuries that could happen. And is the patient notifying the doctor of changes between appointments? An action could be to discuss the use of a diary to record seizures and to identify triggers. Many of these discussion topics can be found on a website called preventingepilepsydeaths.org. And there are wonderful tools for healthcare providers on this site as well. I'd like next to share many ways we expand the epilepsy and SUDEP awareness, and again, empower doctors and patients to understand the seriousness of keeping those living with epilepsy safe. And then the next slide, our awareness program consists of billboards on highways. You might have actually seen one, we actually have them in airports too, and you might have seen one at O'Hare if you arrived today. We're in 9 busy airports this year. We have sidewalk and building signs in very busy urban settings in both Spanish and English. We have radio PSAs and TV streaming PSAs through iHeart. All done to increase awareness with the general public. We also focus on patients, letting them know that we're here as a resource. We have ads on WebMD, social media. We attend conferences like today, podcasts, and more. We also do have programs that focus on healthcare providers and seizure detection device companies. We have pop-up ads on Medscape, speak to nurses, medical students, attend and present sponsors, and sponsor professional conferences. One that specifically comes to mind is called PAMI, Partners Against Mortality and Epilepsy. The Danny Did Foundation plans this 2-day conference that's focused on subjects and brings together scientists, neurologists, nurses, medical examiners, advocacy groups, and families, all to the table together each year. We feel it's important to bring bereaved families and those living with epilepsy into this conversation at meetings. We also co-plan conferences with the Epilepsy Foundation, such as the Shark Tank contest. That's a cash prize to get startups to next level so they can get to market and success. Another is the device roundtable meeting that we host in DC with the FDA, discussing pathways to reimbursement and insurance coverage for devices. And we co-host a 6-week virtual accelerated course to help device companies get to market and to succeed. In those conferences, they learn about investors, FDA procedures, and marketing pitches, et cetera. We love working with kids too. So we have fun kickball and youth basketball tournaments each year. And we pause during those days for fun with seizure response discussions. Chance to reduce stigma, to learn about epilepsy in a very fun way. And we aim to reach as many as we can about the seriousness of epilepsy, to match the prevalence, and to let people know that we exist and we're here to help. On the next slide. As I mentioned, educating on devices that can alert to a seizure is our second area of focus. Technology within epilepsy is a fast-growing field. We consider devices and technologies as a complement to medication, surgery, and diet as part of a patient's treatment plan. We view devices to be another tool in your caregiver's toolkit. A device does not replace vigilance or a parent's instincts, but a monitoring and learning system can be one piece to a puzzle, lending backup that you will be notified if a seizure takes place. We feel strongly about the simple concept of early intervention. If you're present, you can take action. Again, you have a chance to keep your loved ones safe, whether that's to prevent injuries, provide rescue meds, or just be present. No one should be alone during a seizure. And on the next slide, within the epilepsy tech, there are a range of different device types. For people facing seizures, nighttime can be very scary. And an alerting device in the bedroom can provide a layer of support that your family might need. For individuals that have seizures at any time, day or night, a wearable option might be best. There are wristband sensors, as well as mobile apps that are compatible with Apple or Android watches. These devices may allow an individual to maintain some independence, such as going to work or school or out to play or sleeping in their own bed. And you'll be provided with the comfort knowing that the device will alert the caregiver in an instance of a seizure. While no device is perfect and no device company will claim to prevent SUDEP, the Danny Did Foundation is devoted to seeking out seizure detection and seizure prediction devices, as well as other technologies that are designed to enable intervention by a caregiver. And on the next slide, those are the wearables. And one more slide. We encourage caregivers and patients to do their own research into seizure detection devices, as well as consult with your doctor to determine the one that would be the best for your family. Our website, which is dannydid.org, provides device descriptions, links to device web pages, as well as informational webinars provided by the manufacturers. Many of our conversations with family end with education and information. However, most seizure detection devices are not covered by insurance and can be expensive. That's where we can be another resource for families. If finances are a barrier for a family, you can apply for the Danny Did Foundation, a grant from the Danny Did Foundation. Applications are on our website, again, dannydid.org. Our application window opens again July 1st. And the next slide. We would like to be known as we would like to serve as a place of support, information, as well as a place to help families in financial need. You're always welcome to reach out to me or visit our website where you can find brochures and other information that you can utilize during conversations with your doctors. And I do have a supply of some brochures that I brought with me that I can leave here this weekend. And thank you for having me here today. And please remember to go and enjoy your life. Danny did. I can answer questions. Any questions? Go ahead.
I just want to really thank you for being here and sharing this with us. We've been on the really intense PURA seizures journey for the past 2 years now, having a really hard time finding control. And we spent about a year taking turns sleeping with Tilly in her twin bed, which was really hard and tiring. And then I heard about the Danny Did Foundation. We got one of the monitors. It's been just a game changer for us. I just want to share, like, reach out to them. It's a very simple application process. And it's been just a big blessing for our family to feel that comfort level. And it's the device is just amazing. We have the Sammy, and it's just amazing the thought that they put into that device and making it workable and customizable and all those things. So thank you.
And she's describing Sammy. What Sammy is a video camera that's placed in the bedroom that picks up movement. And then that movement sounds an alarm so that on your complimentary iPad or iPhone, whatever you choose next to your bedstand, it's also recording those seizures. So if in the heat of the moment and it's hard to stop and think, oh, how long did that last? And what did it look like so that you can report back to the neurologist? It will capture for you on the video. So you can just upload the video instead. Oh,
Are the wearables, pardon me, are the wearables you showed recommended for neonates, infants?
no, the wearables that attach to a watch, the watch has to obviously fit the child's hand for it to work appropriately. There is a company that many of you might know of called Owlet. Is that familiar? They have something that's called Babysat. No, it's newer. Do you have it? No. And it is a sock that's worn and it's prescription. You have to have a prescription to have the Babysat, but your doctor helps you determine the vital signs, where those parameters would be and what you want to be alerted to. Now, that's not going to alert you necessarily to a seizure because it's not a movement monitor, but it will alert you to if there's trouble in the crib or in the bed in terms of heart rate, pulse, I think in body temperature as well. And that goes, I believe, until 3 years old, 36 pounds in 3 years.
I was out here, so I didn't hear. Did you mention the safe sleep pillow?
I didn't. That's a great question. Actually, it's on one of my notes here, but I didn't say it out loud. So the sleeps, there's 1 or 2 pillows out there as well that are considered breathable pillows. And you can fill out an application for a pillow as well. And they usually come with special coverings as well. So, get a few so you can be washing one while the child's using the other one. But again, she said it's Sleep Sure and Sleep Safe are the pillows. But those are on my website as well, danidid.org device page. Okay, thank you. You guys have a great community.